Well, just back from the first day at the new job. Alright, today's topic is superpowers. Now, I've been told that I'm kind of contentious, so you might need to bear with me on this, but it's something that I've thought a good deal about and therefore might be problematic with. See, if we're talking about what our favorite superpower would be to have, I'm not really sure what the limits are, if any, on that. Can I just say, I'd like to be omnipotent? Because that seems like it'd be a pretty cool power. It also seems like it encompasses every other power. And it seems kind of overpowered. Because, at least in fiction and literature, it seems like something that makes a good superhero is that they have to be balanced with the world and the villains that they're in conflict with. See, Superman is not a good superhero. See, he's too overpowered. He's got that super strength, invincibility, a plethora of other powers on top of that, but the invincibility is really the big thing. You know every single Superman thing, the villain is going to use kryptonite. It's pretty much a given. It is the only weakness that Superman has. It's not a very good weakness. But because of this, he is a way too powerful hero. It makes him uninteresting. So it seems like in fiction and literature, every hero has to have a weakness of some kind, some way of putting them in danger so that the audience at least thinks that they won't make it. Kryptonite seems like a really poor example because it's clearly just a plot device, whereas something like Iron Man's weakness of personality flaws seems like it's a little bit more deep. And other heroes might just have flaws and that their powers don't overcome everything. So in choosing a superpower, I'm not sure if I would need to decide what weakness or flaws my superpower would have, what would make it so that I could be overcome. Otherwise, I could just say, I want to be omnipotent and literally be able to do everything. On top of all of this, you have kind of that Spider-Man / other superhero philosophy of, with great power comes great responsibility. So I don't really know if in choosing a superpower, I have a responsibility to be a hero at all. It could be that having this power requires me to go save the world, or at least it would make me feel some sort of moral obligation to go save the world. Whether or not that's actually there might be debatable. So that's another thing to consider, because it seems like the greater the power that I wish upon myself, the greater the responsibility I would have to use that power for good instead of whatever I would just want to use the power for on my own. And if I have to go saving people all the time, that seems like a pretty big commitment that might otherwise inflict itself on the other commitments in my life. I mean, plenty of superheroes movies have kind of shown this plot where the person becomes the hero and they have to give up on all these other things that are really important to them. With all that said, I think that if I had to choose a superpower that I think would be the most useful to me, or my favorite superpower or something like that, I might choose teleportation. Long-distance teleportation. Short distances is nifty, but not really that helpful for what I would want. And I think that this has been an idea that I've had for a really long time, largely because when I went away to college, I still had a lot of friends back in my hometown, and so I spent a lot of time at college being like, well, I want to hang out with people here, I want to hang out with people there, and so it's something that, even then would make things easier as far as being able to see people and hang out with people, and otherwise not have those friendships kind of distance and fall apart over time. And I think that that's still something, as I have friends that are farther away, that I wish that I had the time and transportation to be able to see them more often. And I think that a lot of it is a transportation issue. So I think that long-range teleportation is really the way to go. Alright, so I look forward to hearing what superpowers you guys have and want to have, and I will talk to you again next Monday. So I was bored and kind of playing with Legos earlier this week. Here, look at that. And it's got Deadpool in it, who's kind of a superhero, so it's kind of relevant-ish.